Hello, welcome back, my wonderful tome readers. We continue. Please be happy. Let's see, what all happened last time? We got a bit, just a very small morsel of the backstory of our main character. Actually, wait. There, we can take a look at some of the, wait, is this? I could have sworn I could look at scenes. Wait, is this? But that's not it. Hold on, I know there's a way.
Bye-bye.
Nope, not. Maybe if I go to extras from here.
Thank goodness. A moment to relax.
It's not scrolling. That's... Oh, apparently... Was that the S button? Is a screenshot? I guess it's simple, but... yeah, unauthorized changes. Shut up. What is going on here? Okay, maybe is... Nope. That's actually going back to the stories. Help. Oh, wait, it's a replay. Gotcha. I'm trying to go to the gallery. There we go. For some reason that wasn't working. So, we have Miho. Fox Girl. Possibly a little bit more special than some of the other animal people we've seen. There's one, like, barista who had, like, bird-like feathers on ear protrusions, which, I mean, birds don't have ears, but whatever. And we don't know what the term for them are. Theory from last stream was fable, or fables is the term of these people with animal-like features. We know there are mermaids. There's some weird little spirit thing that not just anyone could see, which is how we came to the conclusion of maybe they're all lumped together as fables. Who can say? But the story follows Miho. We got a peek of her backstory back when she was a fox. And again, we don't know if that's how everyone is, because she's like legitimately fox. And either this necklace of pearls, question mark, gives her the ability to transform between fully fox and fox girl, or makes it like less stressful on her body. We don't know yet. We know she's been alive for a long time, because she's spoken of her lifespan in like decades upon decades. She also has a very lonely ability, which it has not been outright said, but seems to be unintentional, that after a day or so, people will forget her. Which is sad. But she, in the course of this game, at the beginning, snuck onto a plane and kind of ran past customs to come to New Zealand, where she has met a few fun and quirky Kiwis, two of which we know are the two romantic interests, just because of the images shared on the Steam page. One is librarian, dark skin, but all white outfit, very like princely demeanor on her, who has invited us to stay a night in a spare room, given us access to their fridge, though we only stayed one night because, we don't trust like that. Apparently, Miho does not have the, she doesn't understand how to be friends with people, really. And it's probably in due part because people have a hard time remembering her. Makes her a good thief, a little bit simplistic in terms of her skill set. I mean, she can pick a lock and break in, sure, but you don't really have to worry about anything after 24 hours. You don't really think long-term of how to stay under the radar. And the other one is a girl who we first saw reading in the same such library that we had once been casing for valuables, and then the next day ran into her in her barista job at a cafe. And let's see, can we get images of them? Here we go. Cafe girl pouring a mean cup and then noticing us, noticing her, and there we go. And as you can see, for those of you familiar with rom-com, manga, or even just romantic harem type scenarios, the cool beauty, the very prince-like demeanor that seemed to have just as much, if not more, ladies appreciate them as they do men. Who wouldn't? Kind smile like that. So, both just like exactly the type I would probably shoot for in a dating type situation game. But yeah, we don't know exactly the situation for a barista girl here. She's doing some writing in the at the cafe job, but who knows if it's notes of remember orders or it was something else after seeing us. Meanwhile, other than being a librarian, owning the building and being very, very patient with us after we stole a very golden, possibly even complete gold frame, all because she came to get it back because apparently the person the painting was portraying is someone important to her. She even said, it's like, look, just keep the frame, but the picture's important. Which obviously Miho doesn't understand, but despite the theft, the grand theft of which we led her on a merry chase, she was still very kind. So something's going on. And obviously, with this world of fantastical races other than human that are still mostly human in appearance, I assume between the two, librarian with some mystery to them, who we only saw at night after having fallen asleep in a little cubbyhole at said library, is the one with some quote-unquote inhuman aspect to her, rather than the nice barista girl. We shall see.
Oh, you didn't finish this one.
Some of the little sound bites that come from going between the menus are cute. Others are just unexpected. I jumped a bit right there. Okay, here we are, day 4 in New Zealand. I'm blanking on the Wellington. That's the name of the town. Yeah, we had just left the library after being allowed to stay overnight and going, okay, we won't be going back because we don't trust like that. It's another nice day, the same as when I first arrived in Wellington. Warm sun and blue skies with just a hint of clouds, though this depiction looks like a bit more than a hint. For a while I meander around town, eating the last of my pastries in the convenience store hall for breakfast. Today feels like another restart. I have no den, no supplies, no anything. It's less exciting now than it was when I first arrived. I don't have a destination in mind, but eventually I end up at the waterfront. There's an airship over the bay, descending closer towards the skyport. A couple kids down on the beach wave up at it. Excuse me. Seeming excited. People arriving on the ship all have somewhere that they're planning to go when they get off, huh? They've all got people waiting to see them. What have I got? Some trash and an old scroll. So far, Wellington's given me nothing but questions. That never bothered me before in any of the other cities I've been to. So why now? Guess that's another question for the pile. Push myself off the railing and head back into town. Go through the motions of scouting for somewhere to rebuild my den, but my heart really isn't in it. Oh, did I not? There it is. And actually, before I forget, some of the other fun details of this little setting. For one, despite this being a port town in New Zealand, we're apparently on some floating island. So very, well, not very, but a fairly fantastical setting with floating islands. No plans. We got here on an airship, which makes sense because the area on the town map that was the airport, so to speak, wasn't really large enough for what I would expect a plane's landing strip to be. What else? Oh, right. I don't think it said the current date, but when the first, like, scenes we got after, like, chase sequence of a security guard at the airport trying to catch us after we just rush past customs with a little bit of trickery and a dropped device. There were some fun decorations in the town. A pride flag in the middle of a street too narrow for vehicular traffic. There was plenty of foot traffic and a bunch of little shops that we looked at. So that was just nice. Nice to feel some small amount of representation in a Eurofil game. Okay. After wandering for a while, I end up at the Bell House yet again. It's just a place I go when I have nowhere else to go. The same cafe the one blonde girl is working at least this morning. There are more customers than usual, so there are two people working behind the counter, and takes a brief glance to notice that one of them is Aspen. Aspen. I wonder if she'll think I'd like a fairy kiss chiller again. Or maybe I'll make a different sort of first impression today. Oh, right, I guess that wasn't this in-game morning, but the previous one. So it's hard to tell because, there haven't been a lot of opportunities for choices to make. Literally none. It's like the one quote-unquote choice we got was in which order to do some overworld events that were more just like introducing some of the little side characters we're likely to come across later. And who's Messenger? Alright, that can be put off. We're now, sorry, message about the new roommates. Yeah. Just about sleeping arrangements. There is, I think I mentioned before, two of the roommates were planned months ago. Because I've definitely said I'm looking to sell the place with renters in both apartments to make it more tempting as an investment property for people to buy, rather than a risk of one of the apartments being kicked out so that the new owner can just live there. Because that would suck for whoever has the nicer apartment for the new owner to go, I want that one. There is a third roommate, which is not planned. Former roommate for these roommates who had been trying to get citizenship to Australia, and it didn't work out. I'm assuming the same reason a lot of people have struggled to get citizenship outside the US, of just not having enough in savings. From what I've heard, a lot of people have that as the main struggle keeping them from being able to move away. And I understand why countries would do that. They don't want people coming in without enough money to get by, especially if they don't already have a job lined up. And if they did have a job lined up, there's still the much longer green card process that many have to struggle with. My aunt, when she moved out to the UK, was lucky in that she had a teaching gig lined up, and due to her parents, my grandparents, were very, very good about teaching their kids about how to properly save money long term. So she had nearly double of what the minimum that the UK wanted for people trying to become citizens, and a job lined up, so it was easier for her. And it still took the better part of 2 years. And this third roommate was there almost a full year. They thought it was going well, and that she would need to be here, and then less than a month and a half, heads up, haven't come back as the application was denied. And it's make things difficult. Trying to be understanding, because I do understand, it's just complications I wasn't expecting. But when it rains and floods, that's how my life is. There is no benefit getting upset over it, just trying to plan. Sorry, had to get that off my chest. And again, on top of the warnings and the various hey, we're starting to stream what we're doing. Apologies in advance if their dog Athena starts barking. For some reason, they didn't bother trying to train that out of her, because she responds with barking whenever she hears car door close. And in the neighborhood I live, it is a lot less secluded. Sometimes, multiple times throughout the day, there are people who are just getting in their cars to go out, taking kids to school, or coming back and forth from work in the middle of the day, and then just barking and hearing them down the street when I can barely hear them. So it's been a little difficult not being able to take a nap in the middle of the day like I sometimes do for just an hour, because they keep barking at no one, because they're excited that we're all their people back and they're being loved on. But they're in the process of one of them at work and the other two just getting stuff moved over here because the lease ends today. It's a 30-day month. Yeah, it's a 30-day month, so today. Excuse me. Alright. Well, back to the game. And a comment for those who maybe weren't here for the last stream, to catch it. The first drink that was suggested by the blonde barista love interest. And we're I have something in mind, but I want to try something new. What do you suggest? The Fairy Kiss Chiller, which sounded good. I can't remember what all is in. I think there is something mint, because anything that is mixed with mint flavoring, I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to give it a shot. And vanilla gelato, and I think third thing, more smoothie than coffee. I think Miho commented on, so we'll see if we get the same recommendation or something different, despite her probably not remembering us. The line moves pretty quickly. It helps that Aspen doesn't spill anything this time. She was just a little bit clumsy last time, but it was adorable. When it's my turn to order, I step up to the counter with a fake smile.
Hello. What can I make for you today? I'll have a Fairy Kiss Chiller, please. Certainly. Good choice.
Reach for my wallet to pay, but she stops me.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's on the house today.
She remembers.
Great. What does that mean?
She doesn't understand common sayings.
It means that you don't have to pay for it. As an apology.
She does remember. Ooh. Yesterday. Why does it sound so strange? I nearly missed her talking, my mind having tripped over the word. She reaches for a cup, the pen already in her hand.
And that's for Miho, right? For Miho?
My name? She remembers my name? My heart begins to race wildly, my body reacting just as strongly as my mind. Aspen frowns, clearly noticing that something's off. I had spent too much of a daze to deal with it, though.
It is Miho, right?
Oh God, don't let her doubt. She checks the notebook on the counter, brow furrowing deeply as her finger slowly moves down the page and taps on one of the lines. What do I say? How do I explain? That for the first time in my life, for the first time in hundreds of years, somebody's remembered my name? It's not supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to be forgotten. Every time. Without fail. It's my armor. It's my life. I take a step backwards. I have to run. I have to get out of here. I have to get away. But where to? I've just been running. I don't have anywhere else to run to. I don't have any other choice. Without a plan or destination, I turn on my heel and bolt outside, not daring to look back. Everything is wrong. I have to go. She calls my name again as I disappear into the street. It's not the first time I've heard that as I fled. Never like this. Never such a confused, worried tone. Feeling sick to my stomach, I push myself to run even faster. Maybe I should just leave this whole city, get on the next airship out of here, and act like it never happened. I could go somewhere else, back to China, or America, or anywhere, and start over again. Within days, it'd be like I never even came to Wellington. My life would be back to normal, and eventually, I'm sure Aspen and Juliet forget me just like they're supposed to. Nothing would be different. Except that's not quite true. I wouldn't forget what happened here, even if everyone else did. No matter what, I'm sure I won't ever be able to get these past few days out of my mind. When I get to Mount Victoria, I finally stop running. Not because this place is special or because I wanted to come here, but because I don't know where else I'd go. I make my way up to the top of the mountain, just like I did on my first day. The view, which I admired so much last time, doesn't do much for me now. Instead, the city looks cluttered and confusing from up here. My chest hurts from running so long. I'm much more used to a quick burst of sprinting to get away from something or someone. I guess that's still what I'm trying to do right now. But I'm not too sure what it is that I'm running from. Whenever something goes wrong, my first instinct is to flee. Aspen remembering me definitely counts as something wrong, but when I stop to think about why, some of the reasons are obvious. Mostly, what if it's not just Aspen? What if everyone can remember me now? Or even hers, what if people who forgot about me a long time ago start to remember me? Both could get me in a lot of trouble. My days as a thief would probably be over. There are some places where I could never show my face again. The smart thing to do is to leave. I can even see a couple of chair shifts at the skyport right now. I have everything with me. I could just go. There's nothing keeping me here. I make my way up to the top of the mountain, just like I did on my first day, and yet I don't move. I still don't even know what it is I'd be running away from. From Aspen? From Wellington? When I think about it, I have to admit that running wouldn't get me anywhere. This worry, these questions would follow me wherever I go, no matter how far and no matter how long. So then, what do I do? The only answer I can think of is the scariest one. The one that goes against everything I've ever learned. Close my eyes, I picture the library, Juliet's offer. I picture Aspen, whom I barely know, but who's already changed my life. Maybe I should stay and try to find out more. Maybe, just maybe, being remembered might not be all bad. Clench my fist so tightly my knuckles turn white. The urge to turn tail and head for the skyport is so strong. It's almost like a magnet pulling me there. I resisted, though. Slowly, I walk back down the mountain, make my way to the library. I'm not sure what to say when I get there. Explain everything to Juliet and hope she'll let me stay in that room again. I don't even need the room. I could rebuild my den and hide out there. Maybe in a new spot, one that Juliet doesn't know about. Not having to worry about the weather or other animals would be nice, though. There's no telling if Juliet will remember me too. If not, it might be easier to pretend this is my first time visiting and just ask if there's anywhere I could stay. Even though I'm not moving very fast, I still don't feel ready for this conversation by the time I reach the library's entrance. It's only been an hour or so since I left the Bell House, so it's not late enough for the library to be closed. The usual stream of people flows in and out the doors.
Okay, I can do this.
Dramatic irony would be Aspen suddenly arriving, perhaps for a time to read at the library. Stand off to the side of the entrance, preparing myself as people pass to and fro. My heart is racing the same way it does during a tense break-in, maybe even harder. Tail twitches back and forth. Usually I don't notice, but right now I'm super aware of everything about myself. Roommate's coming home, and like I said, it just sets off Athena. Not much I can do about it, except to hope that it's not for long. And I just noticed my subtitles are skewed. Might as well fix that when there's a chance that the Parkland's going to continue. Should have kept that in mind. Apologies for the last few streams and recordings that was kind of covered up by the exclamation point chill command being advertised. No? Alright. Okay, everything's quiet enough. I assume she's finally getting the loving that she demands via barking. Finding off my instincts, I open the door and let myself inside. I'd been expecting to have to look for Juliet, but instead she's right by the entrance. What surprised me most, however, is the woman leaning against the large desk beside her. Aspen, who's now engaged in conversation with a look of deep concern on her face.
I wish you would have spoken to me first, at least.
Couldn't have been on a infant infusion day. Okay. Apologies for the background noise. I barely catch the end of Juliet's sentence. She notices me only moments after I spot her. For a second, her mouth forms a perfect O of surprise.
Yes? What are you...
Aspen turns around to follow Juliet's gaze, her eyes opening wide at the sight of me.
Miho!
My brain goes blank. Rehearsed lines flying out of my head. Oh, we know she didn't rehearse. What a great backup singer. Totally necessary. Oh, because the third girl could not get citizenship in Australia.
Hey there.
I slink over to where they're standing, hands in my pockets, unsure what I should say first.
It's nice to see you again, Miho. I was hoping that you'd return. Me too. That was pretty sudden. I worked extra hard on that drink for you, you know.
I freeze up, looking for the words. Aspen's expression softens in concern.
Miho? Alright, the drink. I'm sorry. Well, I ended up drinking it myself, so I suppose I can't complain too much.
She laughs, and I can't stop myself from blurting out my next words.
Seems different. I'm sorry? Like, less polite? Well, I'm not at work anymore, am I?
Ah, yes. Customer service skills, totally something Miho understands. What am I even saying? Was I planning on saying again?
Will you be staying for a while, Miho? If so, we can continue this conversation in the dining room. It's a bit more private there. Yeah, sure. That sounds great.
I realized the mic did not actually get clicked back on. They finally calmed Athena down. I really wish they had just trained her to not fucking bark when she demands attention. But yeah, hopefully we're about to find out some reason why they can remember Miho despite some innate supernatural thing she's had for centuries, apparently.
I'm glad to hear that. Right this way, then.
Juliet leads the way down the hall and into one of the locked rooms. We enter a cozy little room with a table, a few chairs, as well as a fridge. Three of us sit down all the way, move my chair so I'm not as close to the others.
Can I get you anything to eat or drink, Miho?
I shake my head. I'm hungry, but I'm way too nervous to eat. Juliet just smiles in response to my answer, which came just a little too quickly to sound natural. By the way both she and Aspen are looking at me, I can tell they're expecting me to say something first. None of the words that I planned are coming back to me. What do people even say in a situation like this? The temptation to run away is overwhelming. The door just a few feet behind me. My knuckles whiten as I tightly clench my fists in my lap, pushing myself to resist the urge. Told myself that I'm going to take this chance. Even if it's the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm going to be honest with them.
Well...
I struggle to think of what to say. Juliet waits patiently, her eyes gazing coolly in my direction more than directly at mine. Aspen soon grows restless, however, her expression clouded with concern.
Sorry. I don't know how to just say things. I've only ever copied other people's, so
And Aspen's expression clears up in some sort of understanding.
It's okay, Miho. Take your time. So I don't really know how to talk like this.
To people who recognize me.
You're doing just fine. If you say so. It's not just talking either. I don't know much about anything. Well, anything human. All I really know about is being a fox. And all we foxes care about is how to survive. It might be hard to believe, but I'm not a normal fox either. There's something kind of special about me. Kind of different.
And the one thing that does feel a little hard to believe, even though, lack of social upbringing, and also having once upon a time being a fox without the ability to, mimic people, is allowing herself to be vulnerable, let alone trust complete strangers with her business. Because I think she's about to tell about the whole, it's like, people don't usually remember me after 24 hours. Because that would be concerning in multiple ways for multiple reasons. I finger the beads around my neck. Their constant warmth and presence is reassuring. I avoid looking at either Aspen's or Juliet's face. What else?
Usually, I have to steal to get by. I don't just have to, I like to. I'm good at it too. That's how I ended up meeting Juliet. And the reason I'm so good at it is because I don't know why it happens, but ever since I got my human form, everyone forgets me. Even the people who catch me stealing from them. After a day or two, I can walk right past their face and they wouldn't even recognize me.
Called it.
No one has ever recognized me. Until Aspen remembered who I was at the Bell House. It was such a shock that I ran away. That's what I always do. I was thinking about leaving Wellington forever, even though I just arrived a couple days ago. I'm still kind of tempted, but instead, I came back here.
There best not be some witchcraft afoot in your library, Juliet, or Miho will probably be very upset.
And that's it.
Just hearing the words coming out of my mouth makes me want to die of embarrassment. Makes me uncomfortable when other people think about me. And yet, putting everything out there feels surprisingly good. Feels like a weight has come off my shoulders. There's no going back now, and that's a relief in its own way.
So you're saying that you've never ever had a family? Or a friend? Nope, never. And not since I stopped being a regular fox, at least. Oh. I'm so sorry to hear that. Why? Well, because that's... not to be rude, but that sounds rather lonely to me. Lonely, huh? I've never thought about it before. I see.
Aspen sits back, still looking concerned. From the way she keeps fidgeting, I get the impression she wants to say more, but is holding back. Juliet swoops in to try and salvage the situation.
You have been very brave to stay here, Miho. I'm personally glad that you decided to come back to the library. I had your room prepared in hopes that you would. You're welcome to use it for as long as you'd like. I think that we could become great friends.
Friends.
A foreign concept, just like the Nile. I roll the word around my mind as if it were a strange food I'm gingerly trying. Is that a word that fits me? Is that something I could have? It's never seemed like a possibility before. None of what Juliet's offered me has. Right now, it feels like I'm standing at the end of one path and the beginning of another. I could turn around and go back the way I came. Back to the den and life spent alone. I know that world. I've lived in it for so many years. But I can't just go back. Not now. Not when there could be something more, something new. Everything could be different if I just let it. When I look at Aspen and Juliet, I can tell what they're hoping I'll say.
I think I'd like that.
Big smiles take over both their faces. Slowly, I let myself smile too.
Well then, Miho. Welcome home.
Oof, that's a risky thing to say to someone who's never had like home. The speech to text caught that as homo, but I'm not going to argue with it. Girls loving girls. Oh wait, right, I forgot. Yep. There we go, chapter 2. For the second day in a row, I wake up in a soft bed. My bed? It's early. The library downstairs is silent. No one else is here aside from Juliet. I didn't even transform before falling asleep last night. Just passed out like this with human arms and legs. No wonder I'm sore. After I agreed to Juliet's offer, the rest of the day passed by quickly. Aspen and Juliet showed me around the house part of the library, and Juliet made dinner for the three of us. Okay, how do they know each other? Because this seems to be beyond patron of the library getting to know the owner. Aspen didn't leave until the evening, and I decided to go to bed early. After the whirlwind of emotions I went through yesterday, I was exhausted and fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. Not having to be on alert, the moment I open my eyes is a nice change. I can toss and turn, even doze a little bit longer. I get as much rest as my body will let me. Once I've had my fill of being lazy, I finally crawl out of bed.
Okay, time to get up.
Doesn't take me long to get ready. Tiptoe to the door out of habit, so carefully that only someone with super keen hearing would be able to hear me. But then I remember.
Oh yeah, I don't need to sneak around while I'm here.
I'll loosen up and step into the hallway, shut the door behind me. Being so openly noisy is almost harder than being sneaky. The building is still quiet. Juliet told me to come find her when I wake up, so I make my way down the hallway towards the room she showed me yesterday. It's one of the last in the hall, tucked away in the corner. Unlike the other doors, a tiny bit of flickering light escapes from the gap below.
This is the place.
Now that I'm standing here, my nerves start to get the better of me. What if she's forgotten me this time and chases me away? Or what if... Screw my eyes shut and just take a deep breath, pushing away my worries. If I'm going to stay here for a while, I need to stop thinking like that. I can't let that fear keep winning. Forcing myself to be brave, I twist the doorknob and enter. Wait, I should have knocked, shouldn't I? It's too late now. I step into the room, only to be struck by how dark it is. With just one window, the main light source is a candlelit lamp, illuminating the white-clothed figure sitting at her desk. Just like the library downstairs, there are rows and rows of books covering the shelves around the room. Juliet looks up to greet me, a gentle smile written on her face.
Good morning, Miho. Did you sleep well?
Is that a cane? She remembered me. I hide my relief, I think.
I sure did. I think that might have been the best sleep I ever had.
Would you like to sit down?
Oh, sure. Thanks.
There's only one other seat, so I awkwardly sit down across from her. Feels a little bit like an interrogation.
Would you like some tea?
I've never had tea, so I don't know if I'll like it or not. I think I should accept her offer out of politeness, though.
Sure.
Juliet pulls a teacup from a shelf nearby and sets on a little plate, then pours the tea without spilling a single drop. She pushes the plate with the cup over to me.
Sugar.
I've eaten enough human snacks to know that I like sugar.
Yes, please.
Juliet offers me a small pot full of little white cubes. Without hesitating, I take two and toss them in my mouth. They're kind of crunchy at first, but quickly fall apart. Juliet frowns, just a little. Enough that a human probably wouldn't notice. Did I do something wrong? Wait, I know.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no. Oh, that gets her to smile, so I'm pretty sure I did the right thing. Okay, I thought she was gonna say thank you and then have some more. Or something.
We'll have breakfast in a little while. Aspen usually comes by to help open the library, and then we eat together.
That sounds nice. Does she help out because of the sunlight?
My, that's astute of you. You're correct. Although I'm able to tolerate a bit of sun, I do prefer the dark.
Barango might have called it. Juliet might be a vampire.
I wasn't sure if you knew I was a vampire or not.
I figured it out just now. That explains how you were able to hear me and find my den, huh?
Indeed. That said, I have my dear friend Orpheus to thank for helping me know where to find you.
Something scratches in the corner of the room, and I look up to notice a large bat dangling from a hook on one of the shelves. Has that been there this entire time?
Is he also...
No, Orpheus is a bat through and through, not a vampire. He happened to notice you on his way home one day.
So that's the friend you were talking about. I was wondering about that.
I have the pleasure of knowing several of Wellington's local bats. They keep me apprised of news from around the city.
Okay, that sounds appropriately vampire-like. Connections all over the place, information gathering, etc., etc.
You're not, like... you know...
I tap one of my front teeth, not sure how to ask the question politely.
Oh, heavens no. I consume as little blood as one of my kind can, and what I do partake of is freely donated. I love this city, and its people. I'd never had them like that.
The lack of garlic bread. Good garlic bread, though. That must suck.
Besides, I had quite enough of that during my time in the underworld. Is that where you come from as well?
That was mentioned before. I'm still not sure. Like, I'm fairly confident. Like, 85%. The underworld, capital U, is referring to the surface of the planet. Because this is one of the, like, floating islands. But, shrug.
Oh, I'm not from the underworld. I'm from Korea.
Okay. Alright, so... my confidence has dropped. So unless every landmass, or at the very least Korea, as well as a few other places, have also turned into floating islands, the underworld might be referring to somewhere other than Earth. Maybe there are sunken cities? I don't know.
I've heard lots about it, though. I'm one of the only fabled I know of who doesn't come from there.
Okay, so that does confirm, though, the other theory of just people who look human but maybe some like animalistic parts, vampires, mermaids, are indeed referred to as fabled. Got it.
For a long time, I didn't even know that other fabled existed.
Indeed. Gumio like yourself are some of the few I know of.
Fox people are referred to as Gumiho, but she just happened to refer to herself as Miho when coming to Wellington. Interesting coincidence.
Wait, Miho? Is that what I'm called? That explains a lie.
You didn't know, but you go by the name Miho.
Just because I like the sound, I thought it was more like a nickname. I change it up wherever I go. Gumi, Homie, Migu. I've never had a real name.
I'm noticing that all of these have the same like sounds that are in Gumiho though, which is interesting.
I didn't even know I had a kind. I've never met someone else like me. I wonder if we'd have much in common.
Have other foxes, Gumiho, live the same kind of life I have? Maybe they're better at fitting in with people than I am, and that's why I've never seen one.
Are there any other Gumio in Wellington?
None that I know of. It's possible, though.
I'm not sure what I'd say if I did meet one.
She says, as if, you know, they're someone separate than her. I'd wondered about others like me before, but since I've never met one, I eventually assumed they don't exist. Finding out that they do, and that there's even a name for us, comes as a pretty big surprise. No matter how long I've been alive, there's still so much that I don't know about the world. As our discussion tapers off, the sound of the front door reaches my ears from downstairs. Juliet must have heard it too, looking over as I do.
Oh, that'll be Aspen. Shall we go down to breakfast?
I'll never say no to that.
Juliet takes to her feet, blowing out the lamp as she goes. Orpheus the Bat leaves the study when we do, though he flies off in a different direction. I guess he won't be joining us for the meal. I have to be careful not to spill my cup of tea as we walk down the stairs. Aspen waits at the bottom, a large book tucked under her arm. She waves with her free hand to greet us.
Good morning, Aspen. It's nice to see you again.
Good morning, Juliet. And you too, Miho. I must admit, I was a little worried you might run off during the night.
I may have thought about it a little. After I went to bed, though, I was out like a light.
Glad you decided otherwise, then. Living in the library sounds like heaven. I can't believe you'd think about giving that up. Anyway, I'm opening today, so I can't stay too late. I'll go ahead and take care of the windows.
I'll get started on breakfast then. Would you like grape or strawberry jam?
I think I'm feeling like strawberry today. Ooh, or some of that orange marmalade, if there's any left. You have to let Miho try that too.
I'll see if we have it. Is that a nonce you have with you? You can just leave him on the desk for now.
It sure is. I'll be taking Jacques on the way out.
Talk about authors,
I'll
got
write
it.
it down.
Two of them stroll off in different directions while I stand on the stairs, unable to follow any of the conversation.
Who's Jax? Anonce? I don't see anyone with you.
This is a nonce.
She taps the cover of the book she brought with her.
He's the author of this. Juliet suggested I read some of his work, but I'm finding him rather dull.
I try my best to sound interested, but books are the most boring thing I can imagine. Maybe I'd see the appeal if I could read them, but how can they be better than doing things yourself? After setting the book down on the front desk, Aspen goes into the main room, leaving me alone in the hallway. I make my way down the rest of the steps. Looking down at my teacup, I decide to take a tiny sip. Ugh. It's kind of bitter, but also bland at the same time. Frowning, I set the cup down on one of the shelves nearby. Oh, that's a no-no. At least I tried it. The sugar was way better, though. The door Aspen went through is still open. I can hear her bustling around. The room where Juliet went isn't too far either, and I already smell food. I guess I'll go watch. Alright, the first major choice. Go ahead and put it right there. A little something to remember it by. Right. I'm gonna go with Aspen. Because, like, Julia definitely has some mystery to her. But whatever there is behind Aspen, we don't know. At all. And who's this message? Not anything important, okay. But yeah, we don't really know anything about Aspen other than a love of reading and works at the cafe. So yeah, let's see what she is up to. Aspen is in the book room by now, and I wander in that direction. She steps from window to window, pushing them open and pulling the curtains back. With each one, another sunbeam pours in, and the room gets a little bit brighter.
Oh, hey Miho. How was your first night here?
Great! After you left, I went to bed early. And then I got to sleep in.
You sure do love to sleep. Color me even more
Mood.
jealous. I'm working opening shifts most of this week, so I have to be up early every day.
Or else, what?
She stops and gives me a frustratingly familiar look. A look that means I've said something weird.
Or else I get reprimanded for being late. Duh. Not to be rude, but have you never had a job?
Nope. I haven't done most human things, if you can't tell.
Slip and slide incident in the backyard? Never. Never have a yard, let alone a slip and slide.
Oh, I certainly can tell. Your life must be fascinating. Someday I'd like to hear about all you've seen and done.
How big a book you got?
I'm really not that interesting. My life is just wandering around for the most part. I try to avoid doing stuff as much as I can.
I know plenty of people who would kill for a lifestyle like that, you know.
After pushing open the last window, Aspen starts to drift around the room, moving chairs and furniture into their spots.
Anyway, I come here most mornings just to have breakfast and chat with Juliet, even if I'm not opening.
Is there not any food where you live?
There usually is, but I enjoy the company as much as the food. Speaking of which, Juliet should be about done by now. Let's join her, shall we?
I follow behind Aspen as she walks on, adjusting and rotating a few more out-of-place items on the way. By the time we reach the kitchen, there's a big pile of buttered toast and different spreads waiting for us on the table. As we walk up to her, Juliet's set down a plate of sliced fruit and another fried eggs beside it. So what do we have here? So at first glance, I thought this was a window. But then I realized with this kind of border here, it's a framed picture. Blinds down on here, but it's far enough into the day we see light streaming through, revealing this frame. Smaller panes of glass for easier repair if one is to break, I assume. But what is this? Wait, no, we saw this in another one of the images. This has like little utensil or condiment type stuff.
You two are right on time. I was just about to call for you.
I have a sixth sense for it, apparently.
We all sit down and dig in. The food, of course, is delicious. And yet another fucking so many people. Alright. Sorry, so many alerts on Discord.
So, Miho, how will you be spending your first day as an official Wellington resident?
Oh god, the government knows that I here exist now too? Oh shit.
I don't know yet. Hadn't really thought about it. Now that you mention it, I'll have a lot more free time now, huh? Usually I'd go hunting for food or looking for a better place to stay.
Stealing. Instinctively, I go silent as I reach for my pocket in the familiar crumpling paper.
Or
If it's something you don't want to share, don't feel that you must.
right, that too.
I hesitate. I'm not sure I've ever told anyone about what I'm searching for. At least not the specifics. I've had a lot of first times lately, though. What's one more? Besides, maybe the two of them can help.
No, it's okay. I've been looking for someone.
I wipe my hands first, making sure they don't have any crumbs or grease on them. Then I carefully slide the thin scroll from my pocket. I always keep it in the deepest part where it won't get wet or damaged. With great care, I gently unroll it, letting the two women see the ink markings brushed onto the scroll. The edges are fuzzy with age by now, but the text is still legible. I think, anyway.
They gave me this a long time ago. I don't know what it says.
Is that Korean? Maybe Chinese? I'm not able to read either one, unfortunately.
They remind me of older Chinese characters, but I can't be certain myself. Sorry, but I'm not too familiar with them either.
They look a little defeated, but I quickly wave off their concerns, and not in character's Miho, a thought occurs. There was that gentleman, I think he said he's like nearly 50 or something, that we ran into on the mountain, who said he himself was a traveler until he came to Wellington and then decided to settle down. I'm thinking this might be the reason we got introduced to him earlier. Not like a stereotype reason, but he did have a darker skin than the pale white European, well, at the very least, of Aspen. But looking like a different ethnicity than whatever Juliet is. I mean, she's a local Kiwi from the accent, but like lineage-wise, so possibly he's the person we're going to go to for Asian language systems.
That's okay. Nobody I've asked could read it either. For all I know, it might just be scribbles. I thought that maybe if I knew what it said, it would help me find them.
Who exactly are they, if I may ask?
They're a traveler. I learned that word just to be able to describe them. They were the first human I ever met, and they told me stories about the rest of the world.
And you've been searching for them ever since then?
Yup. For as long as I can remember. I met them back in Korea, when I was a fox. I couldn't understand what they were saying. Not until much later.
Eldritch knowledge to the mind of a fox, till one day she got it. Reminiscing about them gives me a very particular feeling. It's warm and fuzzy, but also a little sad. I think people call it nostalgia. My voice is a little quieter as I finish what I mean to say.
But that never stopped them from coming to see me. I don't know their names, definitely recognize them when I see them again.
Both Aspen and Juliet are quiet for a moment, visibly thinking over what I've said. After a long while, it's Juliet who speaks first.
In that case, I'd be happy to assist in any way I can.
Me too, of course. Speaking of which, I may have found something useful to you. I was doing a little bit of research on Gumiho last night. There was surprisingly little to be found compared to some of the other fabled.
And yet they were able to recognize she was of that category. Interesting.
Wait a sec. You found out that I'm a Gumio too?
Well, yes. It wasn't too difficult to look up. Is that odd?
So in less than a day, both Aspen and Juliet were able to learn something about myself that I couldn't in a lifetime.
I guess not.
I only realized how I sound after I said it. Juliet chucks a look at Aspen, who quickly tries to move the discussion along.
Anyway, I was trying to find out why Juliet and I can remember you when nobody else can. Although I didn't find anything about memories in particular, there was one story that claimed a Gumiho's curse doesn't take effect until a full day later.
A curse, you say? Is Miho going to take that as a she has been cursed, or that she's been cursing others, or...
Oh, of course. And since you and I both saw Miho again before too much time passed, we didn't forget her.
Right, that also makes sense from what you told us yesterday, Miho, doesn't it? You said you don't tend to talk to people a second time.
Yeah, I usually try to avoid it, really.
I had never thought of my magic as a curse before. I guess the person who forgets me, it is.
So that means that all we have to do to avoid forgetting about Miho is...
It's possible to miss the pause before asking words, like she's not confident in what she's about to say.
see her every day. Forever.
Whew, that's heavy. Forever. That word just hangs in the air. Aspen says it cheerfully, but even I can recognize just how impossible that is. At some point, even these two will forget me, won't they? Why even try then? Why bother if I know it'll just hurt in the end? On cue, those kinds of doubts start to swirl in my head like always. It's so tempting to just stop caring, to give up on others. No, I can't let myself dwell on that. Not on my first day living here. Who knows, maybe if it's a long time from now, maybe these thoughts will go away for good. Juliet clears her throat before the silence goes on for too much longer.
Well, that's not bad at all. Preserving the memory of those you hold dear is one of the most important parts of life.
Aspen ponders for a moment before nodding.
It really is.
It seems a little early for either of them to consider me dear to them, but I keep that to myself.
So, anyway, about Jax.
For relief, Aspen changes the subject away from me and my magic. As Juliet and Aspen chat between themselves, the conversation drifts onto things I don't know about, and people and places I don't recognize. It's all broadly related to books. I smile and laugh when they do, but I'm not really paying attention or talking. Listening to the two of them, they may as well be speaking a different language. The more I observe, the more it seems I'll have to learn. Not just about normal people and human life, but about myself as well, and even the world. And one day, both Aspen and Juliet were able to figure out what I am and how my magic works. I've had a long, long time to do that, and I still had no idea. It doesn't even seem like it was hard for them. There's something I have to admit to myself. I haven't really tried before. Just what have I been missing out on? I feel something bubbling up inside me, the same feeling as yesterday when I decided to come back to the library instead of running away. Something that makes me clench my fists and take a deep breath as I make another decision. Something I realize I can put a name to, even though it's a new one for me. This is what people call hope. Even if it's pointless in the end.
I want to learn how to be a person.
Juliet cuts off whatever she was saying mid-sentence. Both she and Aspen turn to face me, eyes wide. Oops, I guess I should start by waiting for them to stop talking. Lesson personhood number 1. Patience is a virtue.
You want to... what?
I've already messed this up, but I just keep
Be
going.
a person. To know about the things you two are talking about.
Oof, personhood, that's not something that can simply be taught. It takes a lifetime to learn.
All the stuff that you give me a weird look for when I don't know. I want to learn about it.
I'd say that you're already well on your way.
Her expression becomes quite serious as she continues. I'm a little glad. She sees as much weight behind this as I feel about it.
Miho, there are some things that you can't rush or change overnight. This is definitely one of them. That said, starting can be the hardest part, and you've already taken the first steps.
What Juliet said. I'm sorry, too. I didn't mean to keep you out of our conversation.
No, it's okay. I was busy thinking anyway. I can't stop looking for my person, of course, but maybe I can do more than that too.
We'll help you in any ways that we can.
Aspen nods in agreement, but then checks the time and
It'll
sighs.
have to wait until later, though, because I need to be leaving for work. I'm sure Juliet needs her rest, too.
Thanks. I am rather tired. Will you be alright on your own for the day, Miho?
Yeah, I should be. I'll figure out something to do.
Wonderful. Here, let me take this.
She gets up and collects the dirty plates, then carries them to the sink.
Tomorrow I have to go in earlier than usual to open. If you come by, I can make you that drink again, Miho. As long as you promise not to run away, that is.
Sure, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere this time. Although, will it still be at home?
At home?
Right, she doesn't quite understand what home is, does it? She only referred to the den as her den.
Like,
On the house.
Oh, on the house! Yes, of course. This should probably be the last time, though, or my boss will start getting upset.
Technically, this will be the third one. Because she got her a free drink the first time, because the first version was dropped and then quickly remade for her. The second one she ended up drinking because Miho had panic. So yeah.
okay. It was nice while it lasted.
Aspen pauses as she rises from the table and starts to leave.
You know, getting a job might be a good idea if you're serious about living a normal life. It's hardly the most fun, but then you could buy as many fairy kiss chillers as you want. A job? Sounds like a pain.
Yeah. Aspen just sighs as I sink in my seat. The way she talks about having a job makes it sound awful.
Well, it's just a suggestion. See you later, Juliet. Miho.
With that, she takes her leave as Juliet and I wave her off. After the distant sound of Juliet shutting her bedroom door, the whole library is silent. Leave me alone with my thoughts in the kitchen. The front doors are unlocked and open to everyone, so it's just a matter of time until the first guests arrive.
Well, what do I do now?
The empty room doesn't have an answer. Right about now, I'd usually be scrounging for breakfast, or scoping out a new place, or maybe even planning where I'll spend the night. With a full belly and a bed to come back to, I don't have to worry about any of that. Instead, I have a lot of free time on my hands. Oh, there we go.
Guess I'll explore.
It's how I've been spending a lot of my time recently anyway. And while Juliet and Aspen seem fine so far, it's still a little tiring to be around other people so much. Having some alone time is important too. Make my way downtown. Make my way into town. I try to pay more attention to what people are doing instead of searching for opportunities. I meant what I said about wanting to be more of a person, but small steps are easier for me. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's observing. Sorry. And of course, I'll also be keeping an eye out for anything that can help me find my person. But I have to admit that I don't have much of a plan for that. And it raises the question, because we know she's been around for centuries. Is their person still alive? Like, it's possible they weren't human. Their life might be just as long as Miho's. But, well, will it be long enough that they'll be able to meet again by happenstance? Usually when I go to a new country or city, I'll try to find someone who might know them or who recognizes my scroll. I usually prefer asking other Fable. They're easier to deal with than humans. It's not a very efficient plan, if I'm being honest. I'd have to get really lucky for it to work. But I haven't come up with any better ideas. Now that Aspen and Juliet have offered to help, maybe they'll be able to think of something new. For now, I'm just killing time. I take it slow, passing through the city. Even pop into some stores along the way. Ooh. One is full of musical instruments, while right next door is a store selling kitchen utensils. Across the street, another place with racks full of used clothing. I step to each store and pace around the aisles, just browsing. Usually, I'd never come into these kinds of shops. Even though they have some expensive stuff, it's all bulky and hard to carry. Plus, I've learned that hard way that some pawn shops and buyers are good at guessing when something's stolen. Now that I'm paying more attention to what's for sale, I realize that I don't even know what a lot of this stuff does. In the kitchen store, there's normal pots and pans and dishes, which makes sense. There's also a bunch of different gadgets with all kinds of shapes and sizes. I can't even guess why you'd use them. You'd use some of them for more. At the music store, I recognize a few instruments, like guitars, pianos, and drums. There's also a bunch that I've seen before, but I don't know the names of. Most of the kinds you play with your mouth. Then there's some that I've never seen. I can't even be sure are actually instruments and not some other kind of device. I seem to be the only one having this problem. In both stores, the other customers I've seen all walk around like they know what they're doing, or at least looking for something in particular. I try to listen in on a conversation someone's having with the salesperson, but it's just like listen to Aspen and Juliet talk. I don't even recognize half the words. In the end, I don't spend long in either store.
This is already harder than I thought.
Nearby, there's a clock outside one of the stores, and it informs me that it's only been an hour or so since I left the library. Just a long time before Juliet will be up. I guess I'll keep looking around. Although I'm not expecting much, I continue to browse through most of the shops I pass just for something to do. I think about going by the Bell House saying hello to Aspen, but when I get there, there's a line out the door and around the building. Peeking through the window, I don't even see her. Instead, someone else is taking orders at the counter. I don't feel like waiting, so I keep walking instead. End up walking for as long as I can stand it, past the Skyport, beach, past Mount Victoria, back towards town yet again. Eventually gets too boring even for me, I head back to the library. It's much busier now than when I left it. There's a pile of books on the desk that people have brought back, and the checkout sheet is half full. Some of the chairs are occupied, and at least it doesn't people are browsing the shelves. None of them pay me any mind, even when I grab a snack from the kitchen and head up to my room. There, I do the only thing there is to do. Flop onto my bed and look up at the ceiling. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to have a bed and to do that in, but it doesn't help much right now.
So I can be bored outside or bored inside.
I mean, it's so nice having the, not the pleasure to be bored, the circumstances that allow boredom. Because I think never having a chance to be bored is an opposite problem. Because it could very well mean you're just too goddamn busy. A luxury, that's where I was thinking of. Boredom is a luxury not everyone gets. In my normal life, I'm usually too busy to be bored. Having time to rest and relax can be a luxury. Okay, maybe I saw that and didn't notice it. And that's why I remembered it. Anyway, now I've got more time than I know what to do with. I hadn't even realized this would be a problem.
Guess all I can do is wait for Juliet.
Hopefully she'll have some ideas. I get the feeling she could give advice on anything.
May as well get comfy.
Man, being able to sleep that easy. I miss being young. Yawning, I get under the covers, then transform into a fox. The soft pillow under my head, the cozy blanket above me, so like being in a very comfortable den. After all the walking I did, a nap does sound pretty nice. If I'm lucky, I won't wake up until Juliet does. Wrapping my tail around my face, I close my eyes and eventually drift off to sleep. It's almost dark out when I finally open my eyes. Just like this morning, it takes a second for me to remember where I am. I burrow my way out of the blankets, then retake my human form, rubbing the sleepiness from my eyes.
That nap worked better than I expected.
Hopefully, Juliet will be awake by now. If she isn't, I don't know what I'll do. There's no way I'm falling back asleep anytime soon. Unlike this morning, when I pass by Juliet's office, there's no light from under the door. I do catch the sound of something going on in the kitchen, so I make my way downstairs. In the kitchen, I'm treated to quite the sight.
Good evening, Miho. I'll be with you in just a moment.
Curious. It's just off screen. Oh, nope, there it is. It's not just Juliet in the kitchen, but 3 bats as well. Hold on. 1, 2. Oh, there it is. Hiding behind her hair. 3. One clings to the back of the chair Aspen sat in this morning. Another is on top of the fridge. Third one is perched on Juliet's shoulder. I think it's the same one I saw in her office. Orpheus, I think. Juliet's holding a small bag and handing out the contents of the different bats. On closer inspection, I realize that they're bugs. All the bats devour them greedily, including the one nibbling by Juliet's ear. She doesn't seem too bothered and hands them each another treat.
All right, here are the last ones.
She said here, but this reads as these voice actors. The bats on the chair and fridge finish their snacks, and they fly over my head and out of the kitchen. Their wings nearly clip me in the face, and the gust they create blows my hair around. Last one stays on Juliet's shoulder even after it's finished eating. Then Juliet picks up a small envelope from the counter and ties it to one of the bat's legs.
Thank you, Orpheus. We'll see you soon.
So, whatever the underworld is, I have a feeling Orpheus is the one designated to go there and return, much like the Greek myth of Orpheus. As a librarian, that's probably where she got the inspiration for the name, if she doesn't have a way to communicate with them. Launching himself off of Juliet's shoulder, Orpheus takes flight, exits through one of the library windows. Even though he was much bigger than the other bats, it doesn't look like Juliet was fazed by being used as a launch pad.
My apologies, Miho. You caught me just at dinner time for the bats.
It's okay. I just woke up.
Oh? I take it you had a busy day then?
Well, not really. Just walked around for a while and then took a nap because didn't know what else to do.
I see. I'm sorry to have left you on your own all day. I should have made sure you were taken care of before I went to sleep.
She sure does apologize a lot. Is that what it means to be polite? Makes me kind of uncomfortable. It's not like she did anything wrong.
What are some of your hobbies?
Well, making dens, stealing, sleeping in the dens, evading airport security.
There are all manner of things tucked away in this room. All that throughout the library.
Hobbies. I don't think I know that word.
Yes, hobbies. Another luxury that not everyone has time for. Which is a shame. One day we'll have a chance at the 20-hour work week in the US. Or at the very least, better unions.
Something you do for fun, just because you enjoy it.
Oh!
Theft.
I don't really have anything like that.
Although she raised her eyebrows, Juliet just nods. I'm guessing that wasn't an answer she was expecting.
I think I understand. Well, perhaps that should be our first order of business. I believe you'd find your life much enriched with something amusing to do.
Okay. Like what?
She ponders for a moment, tapping the countertop beside her.
It could be anything. A sport, an art, or even something like watching television. Whatever brings you joy.
Pretty sure I've never tried any of those.
One thing I do remember when I saw a streamer playing this, how I was introduced to this game, is there's another character who does try, I think it's tennis, and kind of drags Miho along.
Then, it seems we have plenty of options to start with. I know you've done a lot of walking today already, but I need to go into town to run some errands. Would you be interested in accompanying me? Maybe we'll see something along the way that strikes your fancy.
Sure. Fine by me. Not like I've got anything better to do.
With a smile, Juliet gathers up some papers and envelopes from the table and tucks them under her arm.
Let's be off then.
Leaving the library unlocked, we set off down the familiar path. Juliet maintains a brisk pace, but isn't too fast. I like this a lot more than going slowly.
So, Miho, how are you enjoying Wellington itself so far?
Reminds me of beef. Joke aside.
I like it. It's not too big and it's not too small. Like that there's the ocean and mountains close by.
Yes, we're truly fortunate to live in such a paradise.
How'd you end up here in the first place? You said you came from the underworld, right?
That's correct. Ugh, I was much wilder and irresponsible in those days. But then, I met someone who changed my life. Someone who made me want to be a better person. And part of that meant reinventing myself with a new life in a new place. Rather like what you've been doing too.
Huh. I can't picture you being crazy like you said.
That's something of a relief, but it was certainly true at the time. Sometimes, it does feel as if I was an entirely different person back then. It can be difficult to reconcile who we were with who we are, or want to be.
Doesn't seem like you had too much trouble with it.
I wouldn't say that. For one, this was very long ago. And even now, I continue to change. Everyone does.
Truth. Also, like, no insult to the ladies here. I kind of wish they weren't in the way so that I could appreciate the nighttime view of the street. The color balance is a lot nicer. Bright light just... it hurts my eyes. I think Athena takes offense to the fact I'm speaking here, not to her.
Perhaps in a few hundred years, I'll look back on these days, and they'll also seem like someone else's life.
Maybe.
Not that I think Juliet is lying, but it seems to me like she's just being modest. I may not have known her for long, but if anything, she seems a little too perfect. It isn't too late in the evening yet. There are plenty of other people out and about too. Occasionally, someone will recognize and greet Juliet. She always gives them a friendly greeting in return. After walking in silence for a couple minutes, I clear my throat.
I've got a question.
What is it?
Do you always walk places?
As opposed to?
Flying. Can't you turn into a bat?
An important question, because there are some versions of fictional vampires that don't have any form of shapeshifting, whether it be in a mist, bats, wolves, etc.
Oh, yes. I suppose I can. I do so only sparingly, though.
Okay. So the ability to transform between human and animal form, not just a Miho thing. Good to know.
I find that I appreciate life more as a human than as a bat.
Why? That's weird. Like being a fox a lot more. Being a human just feels clumsy. Your arms and legs are way too long and get in the way all the time.
I suppose that's true. It can be quite awkward at times. Or even embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly! I've never been embarrassed as a fox.
I understand. There are certainly downsides. I believe good makes up for the bad, though. Some things are only possible as a human, or fabled.
Like what? I can't think of any, other than talking like this.
Like writing, for one thing, as our dear friend Aspen would surely mention. Or perhaps... like dancing. Have you ever danced, Miho?
You can dance if you want to. You can leave friends behind. Because if your friends don't dance, they don't dance with no friends of mine.
Nope, never. I don't get why people do it either. Don't tell me you like dancing. Is that your hobby?
I must confess that I do enjoy it. At times, that is.
At times, of course.
Hobby. But with the right person, at the right moment, it can be quite nice.
If you say so.
I find myself saying that a lot lately. Shaking and flopping your body around to music? It's not for me. I don't even know how they come up with this stuff. But I'm trying to remember to be polite, so I keep that part to myself.
So, on that note, I should have asked this earlier. Are there any hobbies that you have as a fox?
I never thought about it that way. Now that you mention it, almost everything is better as a fox. The sun feels nicer on my fur than it does on my skin. Flowers smell better and more interesting when I sniff them. It's more vivid.
I remember Aspen using that word and explaining what it means. I bet she'd be proud if she heard me using it.
You do make it sound lovely. But are those things you do for fun?
Well,
I almost say yes right away, but then I think about it for a second. I do love those things I mentioned, but maybe they don't fit what Juliet is asking.
I guess not. They feel good, but they're not fun.
That's still valuable too.
So far, we've been following the same path that I took earlier when I went into town. But when we come to a crossroads, Juliet turns in the direction of a neighborhood instead of the city.
The first stop I need to make is down here. After that, we'll go look around and see if there's anything fun.
All right, I'm just following you.
Mama duckling, meet baby duckling. Quack, quack, quack. This is the same neighborhood where I hid from Juliet a couple of nights ago. Although it's pretty similar. Some of these houses are the sort that remind me of bugs when I first arrived in Wellington. We stop at one of them, a little one-story house with the porch light on. I follow Juliet to the front door and she rings the doorbell.
Is this for one of your errands?
Yes, we're delivering those papers that were requested.
She straightens out the 2 yellow packets she was carrying. The door opens and a young woman carrying a baby stands behind it.
Oh, Miss Juliet. So good to see you.
I like how Miho's just like big steppy back. With one of her trademark smiles, Juliet hands over the papers, and the two chat for a bit. I lean against the wall, not involved or listening. When talking to the lady, Juliet used the same warm tone and softness as when she used talking to me in Aspen. In fact, if I closed my eyes, I could almost pretend that I'm back at the breakfast table with both of them, listening to them go on about books. Eventually, the woman takes the folder, and after saying goodbye several times, we leave. As soon as we're off her property, I turn to Juliet.
What was that all about?
I suppose you could call it another one of my hobbies. Sometimes patrons have requests for information on their ancestors or a piece of history that they'd like to learn about. For example, Mrs. Aliyu wanted to know about her husband's culture so she could teach her new child. I find and collect what's requested and bring it to those who asked.
Whoa. Sounds like a lot of work.
It can be, but I don't mind it. The past is worth preserving, but not everyone knows how. It's my honor to help people do so. I have assistants too, such as dear Orpheus, who is delivering a letter on the far side of town for me.
Nuts. So he wasn't going down to the underworld. There goes that guess.
Are all the bats your helpers?
Some more than others. They're friends, not pets. And so if they don't feel like helping, then I won't force them.
To me, it sounds like a lot of trouble to go through for someone else. even with the bats helping out. But Juliet apparently likes being inconvenienced. It's the same as letting me stay in her library. Still, that sounds like it could be really helpful in my own search for the Traveler. As Juliet leads us to our next destination, we leave the residential area and go back towards the city. Oh. Don't know how I opened that. I try to keep my eyes peeled for anything interesting. There are plenty of people sitting out at tables having a meal or walking around the shops, but nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, it's not that much different from when I was here earlier. There are more fabled and fewer humans. There are still plenty of those too. Some of the places I pass by are closed now, but some, like the music store, are still open. When we come to a big building with a lot of posters on the wall outside, we stop.
This is one of our movie theaters. They show all the most popular films, as well as independent ones from local creators.
Noise.
Have you ever been to see a movie before?
Not in a place like this. I know what movies are, but I don't think I've ever watched one.
You should try it sometime. Maybe you'll find you like them. Movies can make you feel all kinds of different things. Happy, sad, scared, or just amused. Some are good for making you think, and some are good because you don't have to think about anything and can just relax.
Why would I want to watch something that makes me sad or scares me?
For some, it's fun to explore different emotions in a safe environment like that. When we see something that makes us feel strongly, it can stick with you. Perhaps cause you to view things in a different light. And if it ever becomes too much, you can simply stop watching or put on something else.
I'll try it sometime. Although, I don't know about the sad or scary ones.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has different preferences.
Along the way, Juliet continues to point out different shops and locations that she thinks I should know about, like another library or a museum. I'm not very interested in either of those things, but I smile and nod and pretend like I am. After a while, we leave the city behind and reach the waterfront, just like I usually do. The ocean looks much different at night, with the starlight and moon reflecting off the water. Far out at sea, there are a few lights that must have come from boats, and sometimes lights in the sky from passing airships. We head down a small path to the boardwalk where we look out onto the water. There are a few empty buckets sitting on the ground nearby, as well as some folding chairs. I point them out.
What are those for?
People like to fish off this pier. They come at all hours, but I believe this spot is used for teaching lessons during the day.
Ooh, lessons on how to catch fish?
That's correct. Is that something you're interested in?
Maybe. It's one of those things that I like doing as a fox, but I don't know if I'd like doing it the human way.
Should you decide you'd like to try, I'm sure there would be someone here who's happy to instruct you.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't want to commit to anything, but it couldn't hurt to come check this place out during the day.
I'm glad you found something that struck your fancy. Is there anywhere else you'd like to visit while we're out? Or should we return home?
Nah, I'm ready to head back. Is there anything for dinner?
I'm sure we can put something together.
Then let's go.
Since I actually know where we are now, I lead the way back home, with Juliet close behind me. It's another chilly morning in Wellington. I'm outside the Bell House waiting for Aspen.
People are gonna think I'm staking this place out. And for once, promise that isn't true.
It's after breakfast, but before the sun's up. Aspen invited me for a free drink before they open, but I'm starting to think I've been duped.
Anytime now.
I rub my arms and bounce around and try to stay warm. Right as I'm thinking about picking the lock myself, the front door swings open and Aspen weaves me inside, which is surprising, because there are windows. I would have assumed there'd be at least some on the door that she could have peeked in.
So anyway, like I was saying, my uncle taught me this trick to make it taste better. You put a little bit of salt in the coffee and it brings out the flavor, right? Not too much. You don't want to make it salty, but just a little bit.
So there's Lena. I can't recall if we had learned her name last time, but we definitely have it now. She's got the little wing-like tufts over her ears, but also waist wings, which I do like. Is the typical variation of bird people having them like up behind their shoulder blades. It's just mix it up, you know.
Sorry about that. I got a little held up.
I was thinking maybe you forgot about me after all.
No, you're not rid of me that easily. I was just...
I tried it and it's really good. Have you tried it? Remind me, I'll make you one. So then I was thinking, if I start doing that every time I make a drink, eventually people will start realizing that their coffee's better when I make it, but they won't know why.
Lena sure is incorrigible. I'm not sure how much of that is a good thing, because we've only just really gotten to know her, I guess.
Talking to Lena.
Oh.
That can always take longer than you expect or plan for. But she and I often look the other way for each other on certain things. Such as letting you in before the store opens, for instance.
Oh, am I not supposed to be here? That's cool.
As long as we open on time, it's fine, and Lena and I are the two fastest. You kind of have to be when she's involved.
What do you mean?
I'm sure you'll see. Come on, what do you want today?
I inspect the menu. It's as unhelpful as ever.
Here's a paper copy, if that's easier to read.
Reading. So about that. She hands me a little printout menu. It's also distinctly lacking pictures.
Sorry, can't read it.
Oh, do you need a Korean version? I'm afraid we don't have one.
Oh, nah. Can't read any languages.
I may as well have told her the sky is green. That's what it just zooms in on her like that. Aspen stares at me in clear disbelief. This isn't the usual weird look. This is beyond that. She laughs nervously.
You're joking, right?
I shake my head. She collapses onto a stool behind her, fanning her face with the menu in her hand.
I can't believe it. I just can't. So you've never... You haven't. Wow.
I can tell she really wants to say more, but holds herself back. Which, you know, fair. Someone as tall and decently well-spoken as Miho not being able to read a thing in any language and not understanding what's weird about that. Oh, that would certainly knock me off my feet too. It's just like, okay, how have you survived this long? Other than, you know, theft. We've covered that.
I suppose that explains a lot. Still, I just can't imagine.
It takes a moment, but she regains her composure.
Anyway, if you want to try something new, then how about our ambrosia latte?
Ooh.
It's one of our
fancy.
seasonal beverages with apple and caramel.
Apples and coffee. I've never had that before.
Yes, well, we're experimenting with the recipe still.
Hi. Said that we should try adding more cinnamon to it.
Hello, Lena. I don't even know where Lena comes from. Suddenly, she's just there.
Aspen said it would overwhelm the other flavors, but I add extra whenever I make one, and so far no one's complained.
Not to be rude, is your bird half owl? Just with how silently you made your way over here?
Lena, are you serious?
Well, yeah. How else are we gonna find out which one's better? I'll make one for your friend too, and she can tell us which one she likes more.
Lena!
The other girl hurries back to the kitchen, clearly not caring about Aspen was about to say. She sighs and shakes her head. Also, doesn't make sense, because that would mean you would have to give her both versions of the drink.
Right, well, I have to open the registers and put on the coffee. I'll have your drink in a couple minutes.
Okay, thanks.
I hop up on one of the tall stools and wait, swinging my legs back and forth. Before long, the cafe fills with the smell of warm coffee and baking bread. It's enough to make my mouth water, even though it has been long since I last ate. Aspen roams between the kitchen and the front area, always looking very busy. She checks and inspects what seems like every drawer and cabinet in the place while getting ready. Elaine is busy too, mopping and setting up chairs. At some point, she put earphones in, and her music is loud enough for me to hear it from across the building. Okay, so either, however her animal ears work, the same model that works for humans works, is option 1. Option 2, despite the variety in Fabled, especially with ear presentations and whatnot, there are companies that do make specialized versions. Either answer is interesting.
Here you go. One ambrosia latte.
I pop the lid off so I can take a peek at the drink itself. It smells light and fruity, and a swirl of caramel syrup is melting into the coffee and whipped cream.
Looks good.
Hopefully it tastes good too.
I have a tiny little sip, since it's too hot to drink very fast. The tartness of the apple actually goes pretty well with the coffee flavor.
It's a little sour, but it's not bad. Not as good as a fairy kiss chiller, though.
Well, I can't complain about that.
Yeah, the Fairy Kiss Chiller did sound particularly delicious. The chair squeaks against the floor as Aspen sits down across from me.
So, have you decided how you're going to spend your day?
Not yet. What about you?
There's still another 7.5 hours left on my shift, so I'll be here for quite a while.
Shame.
After work, I try to have a social life or get some writing done.
Okay, so she does do creative writing. She did not just have the notebook to help remember people's orders.
Although lately I usually just collapse on the bed and take a nap.
Oh, girl, been there.
Hey, me too. Without a bed, though.
Yes, well, I'm sure frolicking through the flowers and chasing rabbits gets tiring.
Ooh, are there rabbits around here?
Not for long, I imagine. Speaking of which, have you thought about what I said yesterday? About getting a job? It seems you have more than enough time on your hands. You do know what a job is, right?
Maybe a little condescending in there, Aspen. Reel it in.
I mean, I've seen people at work before, but I've never had my own job before you ask.
Yes, I'm aware. Anyway, you'd have money to buy things you want, and you wouldn't have to steal to get it.
What do I need money for, though? Juliet lets me sleep at her house, and she even gives me food.
I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but Juliet can't take care of you forever, you know?
I know.
Right now, I'm still getting used to even living here. I haven't even given any thought to what might happen later on.
I don't even know what kind of job I could get. Is there some place that would hire me to steal things?
Well, actually, maybe, not tax loan repossession type deals.
Not legally, no. But maybe you can find a way to use those skills.
Ooh, work with a locksmith.
Maybe you could be a security guard somewhere, or a locksmith.
Hey, called it.
Maybe. What exactly is your job anyway?
Well, as you know, I'm a barista. That means I make coffee and tea and hot chocolate and whatever else our customers ask for. Some people rely on our products just to get through their day, so I consider it to be a very important job.
That's an important detail about many jobs. You have to be able to convince yourself it's more than just busy work. That's important to somebody.
If we were to close or go out of business, there would be a great many people who would be distraught over it.
Wow! And you're gonna do this for the rest of your life?
Oh, boy, that's a question.
Not for that long, I hope. It's not my passion by any means, but I don't mind it. It can be rather exhausting, though, especially on busy days.
Breach. I can't say she's selling me on this whole job idea.
What is your passion?
It's this.
Like she's waiting for me to ask, Aspen dramatically pulls out a small notebook and puts it on the table. It's the one that I see her writing in all the time. Lean forward to look at it closely. Yep, that's writing on there for sure. It's not very big, about the size of my hand, and it's mostly purple in color. There's an intricate gold pattern around the border. It definitely looks fancy. I could probably get a lot of money for this at the right store.
This is my writing notebook. One of them, at least. My passion is writing, bringing stories and characters to life, making people feel what I feel.
That is the benefit of any form of art, whether it be in music, writing, or traditional mediums like paint.
There's nothing quite like it. So challenging, yet rewarding. It's both my favorite activity and also the most frustrating one.
Definitely big mood on there, or with the fic writing. I've gotten a third of the next chapter ready for next week. I still have to get the entire nightmare sequence going, and that's the rough one right now.
This notebook is full of story ideas, lines that I come up with, or other interesting details. One of the best parts of working here at the Bell House is that I get to meet so many interesting and inspiring people. For example, when you first came in, I wrote a brief note about you. I never imagined that just a few days later we'd be having this conversation.
Trust me, I didn't either. What did you write about me?
For some reason, Aspen's face gets a little red.
I don't remember, just that I wrote something. It's in another notebook, not this one.
Totally sounds like it's the truth. Not gonna question that. Not that Miho could secretly read it in any case.
My dream is that someday I'll be able to make a living from my writing. In fact, when I moved to Wellington a couple years ago, that was supposed to be the first step.
Ooh, that sounded like a bit of exasperation in her voice.
It's been taking longer than I'd like so far.
Huh.
Every morning when I wake up, I tell myself that I'm not going to sleep that night until I finish at least a chapter.
Ooh, okay, so the thing about that is, that method doesn't work for everyone. That probably worked for, like, freaking Stephen King, who is the Spider's George of writers, who gets several pages done in a day. They're probably not all good pages, and they're improved during the editing process, but it doesn't work that way for everyone. Personally, what works for me with writing is taking it in steps. General plot line, maybe any particular, like, quotes or witty lines I have. But then I have to write a scene itself, beginning to end. Like, I can go back and end it later, for sure. But I can't just do a slightly less general plot and then actually going in with, like, finalized words. My mind can't do that. But I also need to write the scene beginning to end, even if I have a line or two in mind for the end of that scene. And I just can't do it. It throws a wrench in the creative works. Everyone's got a different method. And maybe trying to write an entire chapter each day is what's making it harder. Maybe easier if she just set out a goal to write a couple paragraphs, which is a much smaller goal, yes. Would take longer if she stuck to it, but sometimes it's the getting started that's the hardest part. And once she's there, she'll get half a chapter, maybe even a full chapter written.
But then by the time I'm done with work, all I want to do is pass out. Of course, that just puts me further and further behind. I've really only myself to blame, I suppose, but life doesn't make it easy for me.
Sighing, Aspen puts her notebook away once more while I sip my drink.
Saying it like that, I can't fault you for not wanting to get a job.
Well, at least you're honest.
I'm only here because I need some way to pay the bills. That's just the life of a starving artist for you.
Would you like some fresh rabbit? I can go get some right now.
Did someone say job? Are you getting a job here? Is this an interview?
Ooh, no. But, unless Aspen's also park manager and not just barista. From out of nowhere, Lena appears with the cup in her hands. Oh, it's her version of this ambrosia? Shit, what was it? It wasn't a latte.
No, Miho's just a friend. And were you eavesdropping on us?
Also reading your notebooks in my spare time. Why? But no, it's I could see her doing that with how energetic Lena seems to be.
It's not eavesdropping if you're in public.
It's still eavesdropping if you kind of butt in response.
You should learn to talk quieter if you don't want people to hear you. Like me.
Also, wait a second. If you mean people like you by enhanced senses, that's also not something you can fault others for not taking into account. Come on.
Tell me you're joking.
About what?
Before Aspen can even answer, Lena turns to face me instead.
Anyway, that's too bad. We could definitely use the help. Hey, why not apply here if you're looking for work? I bet Aspen would put in a good word for you, right? I could do it too. It'd kind of be lying, I guess, since I don't know you that well, but you seem like an alright person.
Oh, Lena, you're adorable.
I mean, if Aspen trusts you, you have to be okay, I think. I can go get you an application right now if you want. I printed out a whole stack of them yesterday. Actually, it's the second stack, because the first one came with the printer and...
Lena, I am begging you to please be normal.
Oh man, we almost got the title drop right there.
What? Tell me why it's a bad idea. Do you not think... What's your name again? Miho. Do you not think Miho could do it?
No, it's not that. I'm sure she'd do great. It's just...
Wait, that sounds fun. Would I get to work with you? Yeah, we'd work together. Oh, you meant Aspen, didn't you? Yeah, she'd be there too.
Oh, Lena. Slapping her hands on the desk, Aspen stands up from the table.
It's certainly an idea. Perhaps one we should discuss later. Lena, you and I should be getting to work, don't you think?
Also, wait a second. Wouldn't holding a job be kind of difficult? Like, unless it's shorter shifts. Because she'll get forgotten if she doesn't meet the right people every single day. Like, say, the manager. Paychecks might be a little hard to cash if you don't see the manager once a day. And, you know, the thing about managers, they don't always show up at work.
Okay, boss.
please just go unlock the door?
Okay, okay.
Smirking, Lena heads towards the front of the store.
Feel free to hang out for a bit if you'd like, Miho. Although it's going to get busy soon, so I won't...
Oh,
Oh, wait, I almost forgot. If you need something to do, come play tennis with me this
ah,
afternoon.
I remember correctly. It was tennis.
Tennis?
Tennis.
Yeah, you know, you hit the ball back and forth over the net.
I know what it is. Is that your hobby?
For now, I like trying new things.
I'll think about it. I should try something new myself, too.
I wasn't asking.
I wasn't asking. Raise his gun. I was telling you. You're showing up.
Anyway, you said it yourself. You're totally coming. So, I'll see you there.
Okay.
I can't help but feel I've been roped into something here. Well, it's true that I should at least give it a shot. Maybe I'll turn out to like it more than I expect.
Cool.
Elena starts to leave again, but then suddenly jumps back around to face me again.
Oh, right. There's one more thing.
Oof. Just one more thing. How many more things does she have? I can practically feel Aspen's exasperation as Lena runs back and slams the cup she's carrying on the table in front of me. Surprised she didn't remember that at first, because I noticed it and then she didn't talk about it.
Try this. Tell me which one you like more. The one I made or the one Aspen made.
Okay.
With an unnecessarily loud sigh, Aspen goes and unlocks front door herself. Over halfway done with Aspen's drink, but I take another gulp, paying attention to the mix of flavors. Then I do the same with Lena's. Lena watches eagerly, fist clenched in excitement. Click, click.
So, what you think? Come on, be honest.
I can't taste a single difference.
They're both good. Sure, but which one's better?
I'll take another sip of each. I try to detect anything that's different between them, but can't. Fortunately, Aspen saves me. She looms behind Lena like a phantom.
Lena, don't you think maybe you should go check the croissants?
Nah, I already looked at them earlier. A couple of them were kind of schoolish, but I tried to massage them back into shape. Don't worry, I want...
Ooh, wow, she was really cut off there. She washed her hands. I think I heard the F at first, and that was it. For once, Lena's the one cut off as Aspen jerks on her apron strings. She flaps her wings to maintain her balance. That's a
Why
harsh
don't you
jerk.
go check on them again? Or maybe the muffins, if you haven't yet.
Take the hands, Lena.
Fine, fine. We all know Miho just didn't want to hurt your feelings anyway.
Aspen releases her. Lena walks off to the back of the cafe like an embarrassed cat, pretending it was her idea all along. Strange considering she's a bird, but okay. After she disappears in the kitchen, Aspen sighs yet again.
I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. She seems nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is certainly one way you could describe her.
Another way would be she's taller than Miho, not quite as tall as Aspen.
What I was trying to say earlier is that you can stay here if you want, but I won't be able to chat. Our first customers will be here any minute now.
That's okay. I'll probably go back to the library once I finish my drink.
All right, I'll see you later then. And don't feel obligated to finish both if you don't want to.
I'm gonna try. Bye!
Like Lena, Aspen also retreats behind the counter and starts filling the display case with pastries. I wonder if any of them are the croissants Lena was talking about. Sure enough, it isn't long before the first customers start to show up. Aspen takes their orders with that fake nice voice that she used when we first met. Already I've gotten more used to hearing her regular speaking voice instead. It's interesting to know that even normal humans like her still pretend to be other people sometimes. I wonder why she feels like she has to do that. So far, she's one of the nicest humans I've ever met. After I finish up my first coffee, I toss the cup away, but hold on to the second. I'll drink it later or something. Aspen waves as I leave the Bell House and make my way back to the library. I've had my fill of wandering around for at least a few days. If I'm going to be bored, I might as well do it while I'm comfy. Job or not, Aspen is definitely right about one thing. I really need to find something better to do with my time. Ooh. Oh, we don't have options. Hatai Park? Or is it pronounced different for... Shit, I knew the name of the language of the Kiwis, of the New Zealanders. I know it's not New Zealandish, but it's blanking. So let's all go to the park. After a few hours of sitting around at the library, I'm bored enough to take Lena up on her offer to play tennis. The only problem is, I forgot to ask her where and when. Sometime in the afternoon, I go down to the Bell House, where an employee tells me both Aspen and Lena have left for the day. They gave me directions to a place called Hatai Park, which is where they say Lena mentioned before heading out. I follow their instructions and reach a big open area full of people on bikes, walking, or just sitting on the grass. I wander around looking for any sign of Lena or people playing tennis. Finally, I spot the courts and make my way over. Out of the dozen or so people who are playing, it isn't hard to find Lena when I get there.
Yeah! Nice serve!
She runs back and forth, leaping and diving to hit the little green ball before it can touch the ground. She flaps her wings to keep from falling over when she does. Her partner, a tall boy with antlers on his head, looks exhausted. When he swings his racket, it looks like his arm might fall off in any second. When I get close enough, Lena notices me and stops mid-dive.
Miho! You're late!
It's a cute outfit. It's certainly different than it was a green apron over a white shirt for the Bell House. Now that she's distracted, her partner takes the opportunity to hurry away, collapsing into the grass to rest.
Sorry, I wasn't sure what time I should come by. Or where.
Take that opportunity, do a little save. Yeah.
Oh, right. I guess I should have told you. In that case, good guess.
I don't bother telling her I got help from one of her coworkers. Lena picks up a rack from nearby and offers it to me.
Ready to play?
I guess so. I don't really know the rules, though.
It's fine. Me either. Just try to hit the ball, alright?
Gotcha. She's just a ball of energy.
Okay, I can do that.
I take up my spot on the other side of the net, trying to imitate the way other people are standing.
Alright, here goes.
Lena drops the ball, then knocks it towards me. I watch it carefully, and when it gets close enough, I swing! The ball goes soaring way over her head, falls in the grass out of sight somewhere.
Maybe a little less oomph next time. Let's try it again.
She serves the ball, and this time I just barely hit it over the net. Lena dives for it like before and sends it sailing back. The more we play, the easier it gets. Both of us miss the ball or knock into the net a lot, but it's not too bad. Finally, even Lena gets tired, and we take a break to drink some water.
How long have you played tennis? Like, today or in my life?
In your life.
Hours. She thinks about it a bit, scrunching up her nose.
About a week.
More than I guessed.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, how about you?
About half an hour.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. See? We're both trying new things.
Adorable. The whole time we're talking, Lena keeps glancing away from me to watch the other players. I try to figure out what's so interesting, but can't. Oh, she's doing this to catch the attention of a guy, isn't she?
Okay, break's over. Let's play some more.
It's like, Lena, this is a Yuri-filled romance game. Forget the guys. There are other options. We get back on the court and play for a little bit longer till the end of the hour. So everyone else starts to pack up and leave. I follow Lena, who puts away our equipment.
So, what'd you think? Did you have fun?
It was alright. I wouldn't mind doing it again, but I don't know if I'd want to play all the time. I can see why some people enjoy it at least.
Being outside is nice, and it was a good way to burn off some energy. But the question is, was it as fun as chasing rabbits?
That's good. They meet a few times a week if you want to come back.
Will you be here?
Not sure yet.
Even while cleaning up, she's still distracted by someone or something else. When the other players walk past us on the way out the park, Lena turns her head to watch one of them.
Because we're planting trees here next time. Really exciting, right? If you want to help out, then come to me.
Catch a snippet of conversation as the person Lena's watching, a dryad, goes by. Lena must hear too, because she instantly closes her eyes and puts her fingers against the sides of her head.
Planting trees. Planting trees.
She repeats the words to herself a few times and her eyes snap back open.
Okay, got it.
Got what?
What I'm doing next time. I'll have to start studying up tonight so that I'm ready.
Oh, girl. Planting trees isn't that difficult. Especially because as a first-timer, they'd probably be teaching you on the job.
Okay, if you say so.
I'm pretty lost, but maybe this is just how Lena is.
You should come too, if you're not doing anything. I'll tell Aspen to give you the details.
Sure, sounds good.
I'm not sure if I want to commit, especially since Lena probably won't even remember me the next time we see each other. But playing tennis wasn't so bad, so I should at least keep my options open.
Good. Alright, see you then, Miho.
See ya.
Waving goodbye, Lena heads off down one of the paths. I take a different one that leads me out of the park, back to the library for the rest of the day. With a tiny ding, the toast pops up. I load it onto the plate with the other slices. Bring the dish over to the table.
Thank you, Miho. Go ahead and put it by the butter.
Oops, sorry. Let me get my bag out of your way.
Once the table is set, the three of us sit. I've got more used to the routine of breakfast, and know when to do things like pass the salt and pepper without being asked. Every morning so far, we have the same thing. Eggs and toast. It's a lot tastier than convenience store food, and there are a lot of spreads and fruits to change things up. Like usual, I'm the first one to finish eating, followed by Aspen, who stretches with a content sigh.
Breakfast was as superb as always. Thank you, Juliet.
It's my pleasure.
Two of them saying this is part of the routine too. Usually, Aspen would be getting up right now to leave for work, except this time she doesn't.
Don't you need to go, Aspen?
Day off?
Is this your way of trying to get rid of me?
I see those eyebrows down. She's a little upset. She peers at me from over the rim of her cup as she sips her coffee.
Nah, I haven't thought about that. I was just wondering. I'm not sure if I should be flattered. Anyway, I'm working a mid-shift today, so I don't have to go in until noon.
Will you be writing then?
Yes, I ought to. I'm about halfway through this draft, and I'm trying to finish it by the end of this month, so every minute helps.
Oh my. Halfway already? That's excellent progress. I look forward to reading it when you're finished.
So when she says draft, this is a single chapter draft? Is it the entire thing draft?
Don't give me too much credit. I still have to get there first, and you know how that's gone before.
All you can do is keep trying.
What are you writing?
A book. I've been working on it for a couple years now, as long as I've been in Wellington.
Whoa. You're only halfway done? How long is it gonna be?
Only halfway. I wish it was as easy as you think it is. It takes time to plan the story and prepare to write, and then even after the drafting is done, you still have to edit it and fix it.
Gonna be honest, this feels like maybe a little bit of, not projecting, the author of Please Be Happy maybe letting a little of it leak out through Aspen.
Of course, the more you write, the better you become at it.
This is true, this is true.
And so sometimes you notice flaws in your story that you didn't catch before, so you have to go back or start over.
How do you ever get anything done then if you're always getting better? Don't you just have to finish it eventually?
Oh, from the mouths of babes.
Well, like I said, it's not that simple.
And Aspen clears her throat.
Anyway, it's difficult to explain to someone who's never written anything. Believe me, any writer would tell you the same thing.
Except Stephen King, he's a fucking freak of authorship. I glance over at Juliet, who's intently watching her tea as she stirs it.
And you? Did you end up finding something to fill your time?
Oh, like a hobby. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Well, don't worry about it too much. It's supposed to be fun, not something you have to force yourself to do. Although I'm hardly one to talk, there are times where I want to do anything except write.
It's okay. At least you have something.
Mm-hmm.
Julia told me about movies, so I might try watching one of those. Have you ever seen a movie?
Once or twice, I'm sure.
Actually, Miho, there was something I wanted to ask you.
What's that?
Well, how would you feel about helping out around the library as a part-time job? I'll pay you for your time, of course. It would give you something to do during the day, and it would be a great help to me.
Are we approaching choice number 2? First choice was when we hung out with Aspen before that first group breakfast. This time, is it a choice between working at the cafe versus helping here at the library? For whether we're going after Juliet or Aspen.
Really? But I thought you didn't need any help running the library.
It's true that I don't need it. The honor system has served me well for the day-to-day services, and I'm kept informed of any troublemakers.
But she can't read. Wait a second. I sense problems.
But in addition to the kind assistance from Aspen in the mornings, I also have to reshelve books, maintain the check-in and check-out logs, and more. I don't mind those tasks at all. In fact, I find them rather relaxing. But without them, I'd be able to devote more time to other pursuits. If you're uninterested, you're more than welcome to decline. You needn't worry about being kicked out or disappointing me. I'm perfectly content either way.
Help around here doesn't sound bad at all. It doesn't sound very exciting either, but it's not like I found anything else I'd rather do instead. At least it's comfy in the library and super convenient. Having some money again would be nice too. Be even better that there's No one trying to take it back.
Alright, I'll do it.
Okay, not a choice. It's just something we do. Juliet looks a little taken aback.
That was fast. Are you quite sure?
Yeah, I'll try it at least.
Of course. If you find it's not for you, then I won't be upset. Why don't you take the rest of the week for yourself, and you can begin on Monday?
Plenty of time to maybe learn some reading.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Excellent. I'll be looking forward to it then.
The two of them chat a little bit longer before Aspen leaves to go right, and Juliet goes to bed. I stay mostly quiet, thinking to myself, a job. That's not something I never envisioned having. I figured I'd just keep stealing until... Till what, exactly? I'm not too sure. Until I found my person, I guess. That goal's been all I've focused on my entire life, but now, spending time here in Wellington is actually making me plan things out in advance. When I stop and think about the future, it's a lot of emptiness and mystery, and dogs barking. Makes me realize just how little I have to fall back on. That's why I'm doing all these normal things, like keeping a job could be good for me. I don't know what might be useful someday. As for my person, I'm still always thinking about them and how I can find them. That part hasn't changed. Sorry about that. Ugh. Back in position. Every time a car door slams. Ugh. For now, I'll just go with the flow and see where it takes me. Excuse me. Alright, another afternoon. Oh, we actually have choices. You have Waterfront, which I think is that one guy. Cuba Street, which I think is the kid? Well, I think it'll actually let us go other places. Ooh, we could go to Botanical Garden. That's brand new. The den is not an option, neither is the home. But Mount Victoria has this whatever symbol, which I assume is not the mountain itself. I'm curious. We're going to do both this quick save and a manual save. Let's start with something completely new, just see what happens. If there's no event. I've got a pack of stale crackers wasting away in my pocket, so I figure I'll share my spoils with the ducks of the duck pond. I'm not picky about stale food, but I think they'll enjoy it more than me. Sure enough, the second those feathered opportunists hear the crinkle of the packaging, they already start surrounding me. As I fumble to open it, the ducks start quacking discontentedly and edging closer. Oh my god. Untitled Goose Game. New Zealand edition. I urge them to be patient, but they edge closer and closer until one dares to lunge at me as if to bite me in reproach. It startles me enough that I drop the unopened crackers to the ground with a shriek. They descend upon it like starving ants, but I didn't even open it yet. Oh. They rip it open and tear into its carcass with no problem. Okay. I don't know why anyone bothers feeding ducks anyway. They seem vicious enough to figure out food on their own. Even if it's people food. Once we finish eating breakfast, Juliet drums her fingers on the table, looking thoughtful.
Miho, it occurred to me that perhaps I should give you the proper tour of the library now. That way, you have the weekend to get better acquainted with it if you need.
Ah, yes. And some learning to read basics, maybe.
Sure. I think I've seen everything, right?
Oh, you have no idea.
Pardon. I meant of the books themselves. Where to find each genre and what they are.
Ooh, interesting question for this setting. The fact that it's a library run by a vampire. Dewey Decimal System? Some system of their own that they've created? Who knows?
Oh, right. Sure.
I hadn't really thought about the books. To me, they're all the same, but I guess that wouldn't be true for everyone else. Right now, I have the place memorized the same way you'd memorize a battlefield. Places for a sight, how to get in and out, and anything else that might be useful. I don't think there are many battles that happen in here, so Juliet's tour would probably be more helpful.
If you'd like, I can show you a couple of my favorite books.
Oh, Aspen, already forget we can't read.
That way, if anyone asks for a recommendation,
or
we
that.
could at least make something up.
That'd be great.
Anything that makes it easier for me to make things up is fine by me. The three of us head to the entrance.
Let's start with the basics, shall we? As you know, this is the reference desk. It's where books are checked in and out, and where anyone who needs help can find it.
What kind of help do people ask for?
Usually, they need assistance finding a specific book.
That might be hard for us.
Or perhaps they need a recommendation for what to read next, as Aspen mentioned.
Hope they like the same books as her then.
Don't worry, I'll think of some that are more popular.
Ooh, that's a self-burn right there.
Not my real favorites, which most people would be too bored to finish.
Strong opinions about what is a good book. Juliet leads us into the actual rows of shelves. I stare down at the books as I pass by, committing as many details to memory as I can. Even if I can't read the words, I can try to remember the colors and shapes of colors.
Over here is the children's section. It's got lots of picture books and beginner reader books. The shelves are shorter too, so that children can reach them more easily.
She says, despite the game giving us an image of a bookshelf all the way to the ceiling.
Oh, I've seen some of those around. Are adults allowed to read them too?
Of course. Parents read to their kids quite often.
See, tell me, what is a parent?
Some people read them for fun, too. You gain so much more appreciation for the illustrations once you're older.
Actually, no, Aspen has a point. There's nothing quite like a good woodcut. After seeing the mass-produced, or even worse, AI slop people are using nowadays, we head over to another area.
This is the non-fiction section. It's for books about things that are true, rather than made-up stories.
I rarely visit this section, personally.
In a shady corner near Aspen's favorite table, Juliet taps a small sign hanging on one of the shelves.
This is the mystery section. Stories about detectives, murders, and other such subjects live here.
I do admire mystery writers. It's difficult to come up with a compelling one.
Go around the whole library like this, with Juliet and Aspen pointing out all the other sections. Finally, we come to a stop back at the desk where we started.
I do believe that's everything. Do you feel like you have a good understanding now?
It's hard to keep them all straight. Fantasy, history, cookbooks, biographies. I think I've got most of it though.
By the end, my head feels like it's spinning. I know that I won't be able to remember everything, hard as I try. I do feel like I've gotten a better feeling for the place. At the very least, I could show someone where to find the restrooms.
It is a lot to take in. Don't worry if you can't memorize it all right away. There's plenty of time to learn.
Even I forget where things are sometimes, and I've spent more time here than at my own apartment.
Girl, get some sleep.
Thanks. It might take me a while, but I'll get it eventually.
I know you will. I have the utmost confidence in you.
If I'm going to do this, I might as well try my best. Maybe something good will come from it. And if not, I can always just leave.
Want me to show you the books I was thinking of now?
Sure.
I'll be off to bed myself then. Have a lovely day, you two.
Sleep well.
Night.
Juliet heads upstairs while Aspen and I go back to the shelves.
To start with,
She leads away to the fiction section, which is easy to remember since it's the biggest. Aspen runs a finger across the books as we move down an aisle. I see her scanning the titles before she stops and taps the spine of one.
here we are, Wuthering Heights.
Ooh.
I just returned this one recently after finishing my annual reread.
It is certainly a book.
It's a very tragic love story. The main character is rather terrible, I must confess, and there's an awful lot of death. But despite all that, it's beautiful.
That description definitely isn't what I was expecting.
People really like to read that stuff? Sometimes, yes. You read to experience all kinds of different feelings. Besides, I think there's a kind of sad beauty to doomed romances like that. It really does put life in perspective.
If you say so.
You don't have to take my word for it. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you start working here. In the meantime,
Follow Aspen to the other side of the room where there are a couple smaller racks of books near the corner.
do you enjoy poetry?
You mean like races and stuff? That's okay.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, pottery. That's what you...
That's pottery. Poetry is prose. Words in their best order. Poetry, the best words in the best order.
It sounds like a biased definition, but okay.
Samuel Coleridge said that. He was a poet, but he's not the one I have in mind. I'll show you what he meant.
The book she selects looks old. Very old. It has a green cover that's rough like a lizard's skin, with the letters being faded gold.
Alfred Lord Tennyson is one of the most famous poets to have existed. I simply adore his work. Here, this is from The Lady of Shalott. Ahem.
She clears her throat again, even though it's only been a few seconds since the last time. It's like, hey, Miho, don't judge. Some throats are just rude like that. Anyway.
Willows whiten, aspens shiver. The sunbeam showers break and quiver. In the stream that runneth ever, by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot.
I barely heard past the first line.
Aspens, like your name. Does it come from this poem?
If only. Aspens are a type of tree. Mum loves them. More than she likes poetry, for sure. I do wish I'd been named after it, though.
She reads me the rest of it, which ends up being pretty long. It's kind of hard to follow, but imagining the fields and towers that she talks about is nice. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've been to Camelot before. Some of the details in the poem aren't quite great. Anyway, even if I don't really understand the poem, it's nice to listen to Aspen reading it. Plus, there's no way I'll forget what that book looks like.
Alright, last one. I thought 3 would be enough to start, but you can always ask me for more recommendations if you need. I could suggest books until lunch, if I didn't stop myself.
I might someday. Even though I lived in the library for a few days now, I never really knew how many different books there were out there before.
Oh, believe me, this library isn't even a fraction of what exists. It's not that big for a library, in fact. Just huge for a personal collection, which is really what it is.
How many books have you read?
I couldn't even guess. Definitely hundreds. Maybe thousands? I've never tried counting, but perhaps I should now that you mention it. It would be nice to look back on someday. Okay, here we are.
The book she takes me to is laid out flat on an end table, where more people can see it, rather than on a shelf.
Everyone knows the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grows up and can fly.
This might awaken something in Miho. Emotions, more likely than not.
Everyone except me.
Okay, nope, she's pretty nonchalant.
Now you do too. Peter has a darling fairy friend named Tinkerbell, and he fights the Darcyby pirate Captain Hook. Peter leads a group of boys called the Lost Boys, and they cause all sorts of trouble for Neverland, where they all live.
What do you mean he never grows up?
In Neverland, you never get older. So he stays a young boy for his whole life. Even when the girl he loves, Wendy, grows up and gets married, and someday dies.
You sure do like sad stories, huh?
I suppose I do. It's as Peter Pan himself says. To die would be an awfully big adventure. Still, it's not like I only like sad things. Romance is my favorite genre, and not just the tragic kind.
I sit down on one of the chairs, since it seems like Aspen wants to have a conversation. May as well get comfy. Aspen sits down too, fidgeting with the strap of her purse.
Why is it your favorite?
Why? Well,
Wish fulfillment? No, can't say that aloud. Her hands stop moving while she thinks.
in a book, things can be much more perfect than in real life. A moonlit balcony all alone, or a sunset kiss on the seashore. Real life is considerably messier.
Yeah, I mean, sand, it's coarse, rough, gets everywhere.
I've never been in love before, although I think it sounds quite nice. As I said earlier, people read to feel things. So until that time, living vicariously through other stories is enough. What about you?
What about me?
Do you ever hope to fall in love? I assume you haven't been in love before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, I haven't. I like being on my own.
Do you think maybe that would change if you met the right person?
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't thought about it much. Since everyone forgets me, there's never been a reason for me to care.
I suppose that's reasonable. Still, that must be... Well, it doesn't matter. Do you ever watch movies? Or TV? Just about everything has a love story in it nowadays, not just books.
I mean, music too.
Nah, not in a long time.
I saw this interesting play. It's part of the title was actually like Juliet scene, Romeo and Juliet. You see it? Can you believe that would be crazy? It's like, oh yeah, I saw one of the best-known Shakespeare plays live for the first showing.
How long?
How'd you like it? Eh. She sure asks a lot of questions. They jump around topics so much too. I don't really mind, but I have to try hard to even remember the answers. All the places I've seen and days I've spent have mostly blurred together in my head.
I'm not sure. A few years? There was a really big crowd around.
I think I
the
remember
window,
this moment.
So I wanted to see what they were all looking at.
And? What was it?
I don't know what it was. I didn't speak the language there yet, and I didn't memorize the sounds. But on TV, there were these people in white suits bouncing around, and the people watching seemed really excited by it.
Aspen gasps.
Did the people on TV, do you remember remember by chance if the place they were hopping around looked like a desert, all rocky and empty?
Now that you mention it, yeah. How did you know?
She dashes a hand to her forehead in disbelief.
That was the moon landing.
What? No, the moon wasn't visible in that. It was two people jumping.
No, I'm pretty sure I'd remember if the moon landed.
Similar line.
Not like that, silly. It was when humans went to the moon for the first time.
Wait, they did?
They did what now? Did they bring back some of the cheese?
Yes, and you saw it happen, apparently.
They must have had help from the Fabled magic, right?
Ooh. Oh, what was that? Sorry, I was trying to look up the moon landing date in between the conversation.
No, not this time. It was pure human ingenuity.
Alright, so here's the date. The moon landing, at least the one that's likely to be the bouncing up and down excitement, ran July 16th to the 24th in 1969. Are we gonna get an in setting how many years since then?
You look surprised.
I am. I didn't know humans could do something like that.
I forgot that was a backstory plot point about Miho here until the moment came up.
Well, not just any human. It took a lot of work from a lot of people. It still does to this day.
Fun fact. The moon landing would not have succeeded without seamstresses. Actually, no, it might not be as common. It's also a majority of the coding and calculations were done by a woman, and that I remember because where I learned, I think it was Tumblr, came with a picture of her standing next to the stack of paper because she had to write that out by hand. That was not, it was not something that they had computers just calculate for them back in the day. They had to do that shit by hand, yo. But also the weaving. Seamstresses were important because to make computers strong enough for the communications and stuff, you have to literally weave copper wire. It's, well, at the very least at the time. I'm not sure about nowadays computers, but at the time, it's like, remember how all coding is zeros and ones. It's binary language. It's pretty much a 0 represents a part in the circuit where there is no current. A 1 represents a part in the circuit where there is. And it's a complicated thing where the wire had to go back and forth between the zeros and the ones of where the current would be going to actually get that calculation translated through hardware. And then there's also the suits themselves. Oh, sorry, I forgot. So with copper wiring, the techniques they used were done by seamstresses. And with wire, not cloth. Literal copper wires and shit. And that's not something you can just tell an engineer how to do. They had to have that, but also the suits themselves. They had to be woven particular ways with dense enough layers, so just a small cut wouldn't just immediately kill the astronaut. It's pretty much anytime NASA has to design something for space, they have to overdo it for the unpredictable moments. And it's just the tight enough weave of the spacesuits and being able to carry all the stuff that helped make it possible to be out in the void of, not the void of space, the vacuum of space long enough without all your oxygen and such being sucked out through some little gap. You gotta make it tough. You gotta make it real tough. So seamstresses not only got people to the moon, they kept them safe while they were there. Fucking forget saluting our troops in remembrance. Salute the fucking seamstresses who made that moment in history possible.
I can't believe you got to watch it live, though. What was it like?
had a really good lunch that day. Everyone was so distracted that I was able to sneak into a restaurant that usually would have caught me.
She shakes her head. It's like the most monumental moment in science and history. And you remember the sandwich you were able to make off with.
That's all you can remember.
It was some kind of pasta dish with a white sauce and lots of cheese.
Suddenly I really want some, like, home-style mac and cheese. Oof.
I meant about... Oh, never mind. Anyway, I was just going to suggest asking Juliet about putting a TV in your room. Surely there's one in this place somewhere. It would give you something to do, at least. And you don't have to be able to read to enjoy the story of a good show or movie.
Yeah, I might. I definitely need something to do other than walk around town all day.
Okay, so she wasn't too shocked about the moon landing, so I have a feeling it's not a case of hundreds of years ago, or it's well known about Gumiho as a race being very, very long-lived. Who is to say? Oh.
Let me know if you do. I'll bring over some movies for you to borrow. If I can't recommend books to you, at least I can do that.
Will do. Don't know where else I'd start anyway.
After checking her phone, Aspen stands back up. Okay. So it's not too long after the moon landing, which, as we just said, was July 1969. But it is not so soon after that having a cell phone on your person would be strange. The 90s, perhaps? Maybe the early 2000s? Like, because not necessarily it's a smartphone, but like a flip phone and an affordable one, seeing as she's, from the sound of it, living paycheck to paycheck while trying to write as well.
I'll be more than happy whenever you ask. For now, not to be rude, but I'm going to go write for a little while. I'm working on the last couple chapters of this book before I'm finished, and I want to be done with it as fast as I can.
Oh, sure. Good luck.
To tell the truth, I'm always a bit relieved when someone else ends the conversation for me. I never know how to do it myself. I wave goodbye as Aspen goes off to her table by the window, pen in hand. Within moments, she's hunched over her notebook, writing. Okay, afternoon stuff. Ooh, so it looks like when we do an event, even if it's one without a person, we do lose it. It's end of stream, but I think what we're gonna do. Oh wait, I forgot. I can load. So here's help wanted. I don't think it's gonna be any different. Well, let's go to the waterfront and meet Mr. Probably gonna help us reading this scroll eventually. Seeing him more often should help us get to that point. While trying to think of something to do, I suddenly remember the fishing lessons that Juliet told me about. Already pretty good at fishing as a fox, but it does have its downsides, like having to get all wet and ending up with scales in my teeth. I know some people go fishing for fun, so maybe I'd like it too. At the very least, it could be useful to know someday. Besides, it's not like I've got anything better to do. Down at the waterfront, there's a big crowd like always. The merchant booths that Juliet pointed out to me have long lines and clusters of people in front of them. There we go. Right along the water, there are fishermen selling all kinds of fresh fish. The smell, mixed with the salty sea air, it's making me hungry. Wander over to the spot that Juliet pointed out to me. Today there's half a dozen people with fishing rods in their hands, lines out in the water. They're all spaced apart, and behind them is a man who's giving instructions.
Hold on. Don't I know him?
Yes, you do. You do know that, Uncle. I look closer, and sure enough, it's the man I met on the mountain not too long ago who taught me what a kiwi is. paces between the people fishing, adjusting their posture and giving them advice. There's another person helping him out, a younger guy who's untangling lines and preparing supplies. One of the fishermen waves with the instructor for help.
Hey, Mr. Kim, can you give me a hand?
Coming.
Mr. Kim practically skips over and shows the person how to send out their line.
I need some help too. Well, which bait should I use?
That depends on the fish. Let's take a look.
He bounces around between the group before he spots me and gives me a big hearty wave.
Hello there, miss. Here for a bit of fishing?
I was thinking about it.
You've certainly come to the right place. First time fishing?
With a rod, at least. I usually do it with my teeth.
Oh, I can't say I've ever tried that myself, but if you'd like to learn how to do things our way, I'd be glad to show you.
Sure, why not? I came all this way.
That's a good attitude to have.
That's the spirit. Here, why don't you go ahead and stand here?
I take a spot on the pier and face the water. Mr. Kim goes through how to hold the rod, how to put bait on the hook, and finally how to cast. Once he's done explaining, he steps back to give me some space.
All right. Now let's see what you've got.
Right. So I stand like this and put my hand here.
I do my best to copy everything he showed me, and then with a flick of my wrists, I cast my line out to the sea.
Perfect. Nice job. Oh, I forgot to ask for your name.
Miho.
Nice job, Miho. Keep it up and you'll be a master angler in no time.
How long does it take to catch one?
Ooh.
Well, now that depends on the fish. It could be minutes or it could be hours. I've been after the same fish for years.
Metaphorically, or...
Whoa! Don't you ever go home?
He laughs, and I'm reminded of the first time we met, up on the mountain.
I certainly do. But I always come back. Patience is the most important virtue, other than maybe a bit of luck.
Mr. Kim goes to check on the others while I stand there, waiting. Doesn't seem like anyone else is getting a bite, so at least it's not just me. Suddenly, one of the other fishers yells with excitement.
I got one! I got one!
They frantically start to reel in their catch. All of us gather around to watch.
Steady, steady.
They plant their feet firmly, reeling with all their strength, but it's clear that the fish is fighting back.
Can you help?
Of course.
Mr. Kim also grabs the rod, and together, the two of them manage to land their catch. Everyone, including myself, gasps as the fish breaks through the surface, its red scales shining in the sunlight. Mr. Kim lets go so the fisher can admire their prize. Oh, actually, I just noticed in the background. So we've got green skin. Horns. Not demonic, because they're kind of like front-facing, but also a little turn up. So it's not like a bull. There's also this one that might have two sets. Oh, no, wait. That's this person's sleeve right there. So you've got like little horns at their temples, like an oni. That's probably a normal person. Well, a normal human. Regular human, and I guess he's probably human, because he's got some like age shown to him, and he's 50, so he's probably not like a mermaid or a vampire.
Wow! And isn't she beautiful? Congratulations.
My stomach rumbles just from watching. Unfortunately, after a few more minutes of waiting for my own fish, I still don't get any bites. Finally, it's time to pack up and head home. Mr. Kim catches me before I can leave the pier.
So, what'd you think, Miho? Does it beat the ways you've gone fishing before?
That was okay. I didn't catch anything in the end. But it was cool to watch you and that other person get one.
It's like that sometimes. You just have to keep trying. I hope we'll see you around again sometime.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Thanks for showing me all that stuff.
In the end, it was a lot of just standing around. What he said about needing patience makes sense, but if I'm looking for something fun to do, then I'm not sure if this was exciting enough. But it was kind of relaxing, and I do still think it would be useful to learn. Either way, I'm glad I came and checked this place out. Now to go see if Juliet keeps any seafood in the fridge at the library. And it goes back into that other scene, right? Let's see.
It occurred to
Yes,
me
the
that perhaps
proper
I should
tour.
give you the proper tour of the library now.
Alrighty, so I'll just re-go through that again off stream. We're only a couple minutes past, but I'm really hoping that Maddie the Alchemist, is still streaming so we can raid over to her. Let's go to the BRB screen and check on that now. Alright. Need a fresh window. Don't really have a backup. Let's see. Straight to their Twitch. Please still be on. Oh, yes. What were they playing again? Atelier Ayesha, the Alchemist of Dusk. Boy, I cannot hear anything. Maybe they're just in a quiet part of the game, because I don't have that muted. But yeah, we're gonna copy, because I'm scared I'm gonna mistype that. I think I've done that before when trying to raid out, let's see. There we go. As always, my wonderful tome readers, hope you are eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body so your body can take care of you. Raid message. What do we do for the raid message? I think we just do the usual. I should have thought up something for this game, but I'm suddenly blanking. There wasn't anything that really stood out. But it's been fun. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Tomorrow, a little bit sooner, about an hour sooner than today's stream started, it'll be Infinite Fusion, which we should be able to get to the end of this quote-unquote demo of Infinite Fusion 2. There's also the Team Aqua missions, which I've already tested off stream on a different save file, and I think that between that and the gym, it should take up a good chunk of time. And you know, worst come to worst, we can also try to get some of the other missions that are available, because there's no way the missions that we will have started so far are ones we cannot finish without an update. So until then, take care, and I hope to see you there. Bye.